here's commerce, a little shopping cart image. It's been there all this time, the commerce console. And the first step of setting up e-commerce features within your website is to allocate a folder where those product profiles will be stored. So if I tap on products, there's my library. Now, a lot of these features are being phased out. They're being deprecated because Adobe bought out Magento, which is a very powerful e-commerce platform, has a lot of AI features where I think I talked about this already, where if you have a photo where someone's, for example, wearing some sneakers, Magento has AI image recognition capabilities to identify what that product is and then serve you a product page to buy those sneakers, right? So this is all being replaced with that, so we don't really focus a lot of time on it. But if you want to use it for this project, we're going to have to create the products in the We Retail folder. We can't create our own folder here because we have it. There's some back-end configurations that we can't set up. But I could just create a folder for my products. Again, title refers to how this folder will be labeled in the environment. Name refers to how it's labeled in the URL. And then if I highlight that folder, I can start building out my product profiles. So I click Create, choose Create Product, and this is it. This is what every product is in Adobe Experience Manager. It's a set of properties that define the product. So you would have seen at the start of the lecture, I downloaded that Mr. Squiggle commemorative coin. So that would be the title of the product. I could add a description. I could tag it any way I want, either calling up the tagging library or just entering them and pressing enter through the text field. And I'm going to need to include some ERP data. ERP refers to Enterprise Resource Planning, because remember, everything we're building in a content management system is a resource. This happens to be a resource that is a part of my enterprise planning. So a SKU refers to a stock keeping unit code. Every product has a SKU, it's sort of their unique identifier, so you'll have to include one as well. It can just be a random 6-character or 6-digit code. And you even have some metadata properties about color and size, and particularly if you're setting up an apparel e-commerce website experience, take advantage of these properties because there are also components within AEM that allow you to create product filters. So people can search for products based on their color and their size and their price, and all of it is working with products that you create. I'll just set up a price. And I think this is a really great part. Add an asset. I don't add the asset through this profile. I link to an asset of the product that's already in my asset library, right? So under asset path, if I click the magnifying glass, it will actually open up the selection dialog box, which takes me to the asset library. And so in my asset library, I'll already have these images uploaded and defined. So where did I put mine? I think I put it there, here, and there he is. Cool. I click Create, and now I have a new product in my product library. So to implement it into the website, I travel out of Commerce and go to the website that I've created in the Sites console. This is the structure of the website that you'll set up for your project, and we'll talk about that in the week 12 tutorial. I click Create, choose a page, and I'm going to create 2 pages. I think we've got time, yep. I'm going to create first a section page, which is a page that I can use for product catalogs. So if I want to feature multiple products rather than focus on a single product, it's important to have my product catalog pages. And this also includes my product filters if I want to narrow down what products I view on the page. And I'm just going to call this All Items. For all coins, create. And then within all coins, I'll create my individual product page. And there's a template for product page that We Retail provides out of the box. And I'll just call this Mr. Squiggle Collector Coins. The title of the page is going to match the name of the product. Of course, we can override that information in the page. Now, if I open up the product page in the page editor, this is where we have a series of different product components that I can customize. The first component I'll customize is the product component. And this is where I'm feeding in all the metadata from the product profile that I created into this specially designed component that visitors will be able to use to add the product to their cart. And I configure that component, and under product data, I'm essentially just linking this component to the profile that I created in the commerce library. So if I tap on that selection dialog, There's our commerce library. There's the folder that I created, and there's my product. There we go. The description actually is sort of more of a category name, I think. The title of the product appears in large bold format, and there's the price. And this should be working out of the box. Of course, there's going to be some issues initially for retail to understand this new folder that you've added to the product library. So if I preview that and click Add to Cart, I might get a big sling resource error. Yep. But if I travel back, it sort of had to initialize. And if I go to add that to the cart again, it's now registering. So just it's sort of the environment has to catch up with the new structure to the product library and what you've set up in your sites. And to cap things off, I'll show you how to add all these products into a category page. So the idea is you'll have an individual product page for all your product profiles, right? Each product page has to be mapped to its own unique product profile. And then in a section page, so there's my product filters. They're cool, and they're mapped automatically to any products that I bring into a product grid. So in the product grid, I can configure that. And what I'm doing with the grid is I'm building a list of products I want featured in this section. So I can build a list using different types of product pages. I can use it building child pages. So that means if I have a parent page, and within that parent page I've nested a few product pages, I specify under the parent page, that just brings up the selection dialog, where the nested pages are. So that's the product page I want featured in the grid. So I'm going to choose all coins as the parent page. Click select, and that's done. So then I can go back and add additional product pages nested within all coins, and those products will appear in this grid as well. Alternatively, I can customize this list. I can make a fixed list, right? So if I go to switch the build list using fixed list, I can specify as many products as I want manually. So I might bring in the Mr. Squiggle coins. But I have to select the product page specifically. Or I could bring in any other product page that exists within this environment. There we go. And I can also reorder them. And that's really great as well, because I can use this product grid not just to highlight every product that's in a category, but I could also repurpose this as, for example, a recommendation grid. So I could reuse this product grid across my website saying visitors who viewed this article are interested in these items, for example. There's really a lot of complexity that I can add to this experience as a result of these components.